Okay, I kind of like that intro. It's kind of chill with it. Hello. Welcome to the Danger Head podcast with your boys Duncan and Jared. And we let's be real, y'all. Like it's been an eventful couple of months since this man got into office. Um, and I just want to say this, now that I understand how algorithms work, I can see why you can only see certain like your amount of information is limited unless you search for it, because I've been basically battling a lot of these like senators and what's it called, like maga, like loyalists and everything like that over Twitter. And now my entire Twitter, no matter where I go, my entire Twitter is only Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and Donald Trump loyalists. Nobody else. And I try my best to try to reset the algorithm. I try to like random shit from somewhere else. It don't work. It just doesn't. But we're really gonna be talking about like what Trump has been doing the last few months, basically the last 2 months, basically. What Elon is doing with the whole Doge situation, the whole corruption, blah blah blah, and basically MAGA. Because I like something's telling me to just talk about MAGA right now, and I just want to say this personally, Jared. MAGA is not Republicans.
No,
MAGA is MAGA. Like y'all ain't Republicans, bro. If the Republicans of the 70s to 2000 and early 10s saw y'all, they would be like, "Oh hell no!" Like this is bad. But kind of to give you guys a summary, right? Trump's being blocked by hella courts for most of his executive orders. As you know, guys, the courts can only overrule a president if the president is doing something unlawful, or it has to be determined if it's lawful or not. Right? You saw this with Biden, right? The Republican states sued Biden, and basically they made it unlawful for his plan because technically Congress is supposed to do that. Congress is supposed to control the money, where it goes, everything like that. So they blocked Biden from doing that. Same thing with these deportations. Same things with the with the executive order to like kind of I forgot what it was, Jared. It was something along the lines of like going into these cities.
Sanctuary cities with the
Yeah,
National Guard and raiding them.
yeah, basically, like he's doing things unlawfully. And if you go on X, sorry, I'm gonna just say Twitter. If you go on Twitter and you look at any senator, right, and I'm glad one of these guys called it out. There was a meeting where he was basically the original Doge, right? These are the people who originally were actually getting rid of fraud and wasteful spending and etc. And he said, "You guys are scared to say anything." like he said, "You can say it. A lot of our wasteful spending was during Trump's administration in the first place." I think he said like his first year he wasted like 1.7 billion. Then the next year he wasted like actually I no pause. Actually, it was like 100 billion, something like that. It was a crazy number. But during COVID, I think it was about 200 billion. He basically misused and wasted. And what does that tell you? That's more. That's a quarter of basically our budget, basically, right? So he pointed out to Democrats and to Republicans like, you guys are scared to call out Trump. You guys are scared to admit when he does shit. You know what I'm saying? It like his is actually fact check. His is actually fact check. He actually had the data, and mind you, I went to the Doge data shit too. I went to their website. They changed it. You know why they changed it? Because they got exposed. They got exposed, right? Because they were trying to put contracts that either A, already happened, B, already paid out most of it, or C, happened during Bush, right? Like shit like a contract that was like already done,
Mm.
and then D, a humanitarian contract, and Doge is putting it as fraud. Like, don't get me wrong. If you, Jared, if you give a homeless man $20 and I don't like it, why would I label what you did, right, as fraud or waste? That don't make sense. You're being a humanitarian. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's the same thing like Michael Jordan said one day. He was like, if you could ask for $1, you could ask for how do you like your fries, basically, you know what I'm saying? But but it's like, and Kevin's pointing it out, if they lose any chance of coming back into office because they're not allowed to call out Trump, but you're seeing in the town halls,
They're ripping them.
people are pissed that they're Republican. And mind you, right? And Kev knows this, right? I have conservative views. I have liberal views, right? Trust me, I can call out the Democrats when they're doing some dumb shit, and I'm gonna call out the Republicans when they're doing some dumb shit. There's not the only issue I have with Republicans right now is just the fact they're not speaking up on shit that they know is wrong. That's the only problem. MAGA, you can't tell MAGA shit. You can't tell. Yo, Trump will take a shit right in front of him. Right there. Poop in his hand. Throw it at your face. Throw it out, right? And then they'll look at it and go, oh, he hit me with no shit. Hit me with shit. Because he would never hit me with shit, even though I just saw him do it. It's chocolate. And I'll be like, all right, eat the chocolate. I'm allergic to chocolate. You know? Oh man, but Jared, like, what have you been hearing? Because Trump has already done something that affects me personally already, and I can go into that. But what have you been seeing so far? And I know you research, so Jared isn't only looking at one news source. He's out there. All right.
Actually, I can actually apply to some real life experience. So
Oh shit.
Keep things simple. Like my job is basically doing air monitoring during construction projects, more or less, just to keep it simple. And one of our contracts is with the VA in the city. And I can tell you, they ain't happy about what's going on. Some of the guys that I've worked with there, whenever we're on site, they ain't there anymore. They got laid off. And the guys that are still there, they're worried. They're not in support of what's going on. Every time they're like, oh, the veterans. No, they don't like this man. He's threatening their livelihood and their jobs, everything they work for. So, nah, bro. I don't know who's like, oh, these vets are for. I don't see him. I haven't met any. It's not good. And it's not nice to, like, when you walk into an environment and you can just feel the vibe is off. It doesn't feel great knowing how everything's going right now. And even recently, there was veterans marching on the Capitol. I think was it yesterday? I believe it was.
Yeah.
A bunch of them out there calling out Trump. And Vance, of course, had a boss like, don't these people have jobs? Bro, y'all niggas just fired a bunch of them. Like, what do you mean? Why don't they have jobs? Y'all fired a lot of people. So I'm sure a lot of people that got fired were the ones marching saying, what the hell? This is bullshit. And y'all gotta be careful because you're going to piss off we'll just say you'll piss off the wrong vet. And we don't want anything bad happening. So I don't know. They keep doing something like egregious or just really stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And they got the balls to talk shit like, oh, why are you all acting like this? Like, y'all just screwed them over. What do you mean? Why do you think they're so upset about this shit?
Fair. When I see these like politicians, right? They're supposed to be smart, right? That's what they're supposed to, and at a certain level, you're supposed to be socially responsible, right? At what point do you not see the people that you're representing suffering to then go, oh shit, I fucked up? I'll be real with you. If I was I vote anyway, but if I had a Republican congressman, right, and I know he's like a good person and stuff like that, or she's like a good person and stuff like that, and I see this blind devotion, I'm not voting for you again.
Right.
At the same time, if I see you're supporting Trump, but then you can say like, I fucked up, I'm gonna vote for you again. Because that self-acknowledgement is the big part of it, right? There's no reason why you're taking these town halls you're hearing people be affected personally and then have the goal to say it's not happening in front of them.
Shit is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at what point do you look at what's going on? Mind you, the president, even though he's the president, he's still only 1/3 of the supreme powers. You still have judicial and you still have Congress. If Congress remotely had the backing that they think they had, Trump is nothing to fear. But this is the first time I've seen a president look at Putin and go, he's right. The Republicans were the most anti-Putin party like ever. Now it's Putin. Putin didn't start the war. I'm gonna get my food. Hold on. Go ahead.
It honestly is mind-blowing how supportive Trump is of Putin. He's trying so hard for some reason to make him seem like he's not that bad of a person, that he's put in a bad position, that he didn't really want to, but he didn't have a choice to invade Ukraine and attack them. And over the years, like even before Trump, we were seeing how they were constantly, pressuring them, constantly attacking them, and there was like a third invasion, and then it finally happened. So it's not like this is a surprise what happened between them. Yet he's trying to make it seem like all of a sudden that, hey, it's not Russia's fault. They're the good guys. This is all Zelensky's fault. And that's also why when him and Vance had the interview with him, they tried to demonize him. They tried to make him look like he's a piece of shit, like he's trying to hold on to power because he's greedy. It's like, bro, he's in the middle of a war. Their cities are constantly being hit by missiles and bombs. It's not like you're just like, hey, by the way, guys, while we're being bombed by the Russians, let's hold an election and then we'll switch leaders. It's like, no, bro. He's trying to keep everybody in his country alive right now. They're fighting for their lives. And that's also why when Trump did that shit, he lost if he had any respect left from what other countries see, he lost all that when he did that. Because everyone at that point is like, all right, for some reason, this man has so much support for Putin out of nowhere. It's like even though during his first term, he kind of did it a little bit. Like he would say, oh, Putin's not a bad guy. Because I remember he met with Putin. Remember he did that whole little thing and meet and greet with Putin. Oh, he's not that bad.
Yeah.
And now second time around, for some reason, he's on his knees for Putin. But as we know, back in the late 90s, certain Russians bailed him out. So, pretty sure they said, hey, it's the president. We gotta call you out for that. So now he's not necessarily handing everything over, but he's giving them a lot of leeway based on what they've been doing. And it's pretty damn suspicious. But I guess they called him and told him, hey, Mr. Trump, we bailed you out back in the 90s, and it's time to cash in on that.
Yeah. And I think like for most of us heard the whole Russia and Trump relationship back in 2016 because I think it's right here. And like so in 2019, that's when they found it out really, but the New York Times had documented that Donald Trump and 18 of his associates had at least 140 contacts with Russian nationals and WikiLeaks during the 2016 election. Like, what are we talking about, bro? But I can't get mad at Trump. I'm gonna tell you why. Everybody has experienced this. Y'all have known somebody in your life who their parents didn't tell them no. Everybody around them didn't tell them no. Right? Anytime they got into trouble or anything, somebody bailed them out. Trump is a product of everything that's wrong with America, in my opinion. Because he's that person that said no. He's that person that never was told no. It's the same thing with America. America, we always felt we was the big man on campus and shit. And we feel some type of way when people don't like us. How could you not like me? I'm America. You know what I'm saying? Like that's our mindset. Even look, right? When it comes to my family, I leave the US, right? I can hear outside perspective of what's going on in the US, right? the world laughs at us, but they're also scared, right? So there's two things. They're laughing at us because, like, damn, you Americans are pretty stupid if you're gonna vote him again, right? On top of that, how do y'all not fight what he's doing, right? At the same time, they're scared because, end of the day, no matter how much you criticize an idiot or dislike an idiot, if an idiot has a gun, you don't challenge the idiot with a gun. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there is fear going on in the world because of him. At the same time, it's that fear that I'm gonna laugh at you behind your back. I ain't gonna laugh at you in your face, right? But I'm kind of happy that these other countries are showing like we ain't scared of you, bro. Like now we are scared of you joining that dude, right? Because now you're combining two superpowers, right? And on top of that, you're talking about bringing Canada in from as a 51st state, Canada, who is basically borderline bigger than the U.S. entirely. You want to bring in Canada, make them the state who's mostly liberal, by the way, right? So Republicans ain't running another goddamn thing, right? And then you said, "Oh, we're gonna get Greenland after because of military reasons and stuff," and it's like those neighbors also protect us anyway.
We're allies,
right? If bombs and missiles are coming through Greenland, they have something to set something up, right? To either track them or to counter them, right? Canada, same thing. They got the technology, counter. Da, da, da. So why is it now that you and Mexico, right? So now, why are you picking fights with our neighbors? And then to make matters worse, this is MAGA now. They're trying to use the tariffs that they have on us as a point of reference. And it's like the reason why they're doing that is because at the end of the day, Canada, Mexico barely has it, but Canada doesn't have as much people as people think they do.
It's just a lot of land.
Yeah, it's just massive land. So everybody knows, like, for example, milk and shit like that, it's cheaper over here. Right? If Canada's economy, like especially their farmers, fail because America's farmers have that much, better shit, Canada's economy is going to plummet. Right? They don't have as much people to back up the consumer rate. So they put those tariffs to deter buying from America. But also is also our biggest consumer when it comes to other products. Right? So when Trump does a sweeping tariff, it's like you clearly don't know what Canadians buy that. And it took the automakers, Ford, Tesla, not Tesla, Toyota, Honda, BMC, GMC, whatever. It took them all to get in a meeting with Trump and go, yo, what are you doing?
You're screwing us over.
You're gonna fuck us over. Like, what are you doing? So he had to put another tariff pause on it. And now Tesla stock is hurting. His boyfriend's Tesla stock. And here's the best part, Jared. And everybody knew me. I was supporting Tesla this entire time, right? In regards to stock, right? With Tesla stock failing the way it is, right? If it continues to go down, Elon Musk does not have the leverage anymore to cover his loans he took out for like Twitter and shit, because he used the stocks as leverage, right? Them being high,
no problem.
Great. Well, once they get low, you're either gonna have to give more stocks than you agree to, or you're gonna have to sell Twitter, right? Because that's how rich people do it. They put their stocks on leverage as a way to get the money to do it, and then you're not taxed for that, So that's how they operate. But like I said, it just gets to a point now where we're clearly suffering, clear as day. And mind you, right, they just put out a report suddenly. They was like, oh, gas prices are at an all-time low and since 2021 or some shit. And egg prices are all-time low since no, they're not, because I still see the same price. So who are you asking? You feel me? Like who are you asking for that? Are you asking the suppliers? Are you saying that? Because they've always turned a profit regardless. So they're not gonna suddenly lower the prices. Actually, I don't even know if I've seen in my life something get raised high besides gas prices. But something like a product you buy in the store, I never see something go from $1 to $2, and then suddenly it's back to $1. I never seen that yet. I don't know, but what do you think, Jared?
Oh, there you go. So two things, especially going back to the tariffs and trade. So one, Trump was bitching about, he was like, these are the worst trade deals that we've ever had. And that's why he's like throwing the tariffs out. Bro, he was the last person to renegotiate those.
Yep. In
2018. He set that up. So he's complaining about himself. He's like, who did this? Bro, it was you. You're bad at this shit. What do you mean? What are you complaining about? That's your fault. And number two, actually, just to like explain it a little bit. So the reason why, especially for farm products stuff, that Canada tariffs stuff. So I heard a Canadian explaining it. So basically, so in America, as a farmer, you can produce as much shit as you want. There's there's no limit. You can do whatever the hell you want. If you want to produce 50 bajillion gallons of milk, nothing's stopping you.
Yeah.
In Canada, they have basically sort of like contracts about how much you're allowed to produce.
Oh.
Okay. So basically, what initially would happen is we would just super saturate their market and kill all their farmers. That's why they have tariffs on us. It's not to like, destroy us. It's so their farmers don't just go bankrupt and fall out. And that's also why, in exchange for the tariffs, they buy a lot of our shit. That's the trade-off. It's like, hey, we don't want you to kill our farmers, so we're going to put a tariff on certain products. But in exchange, we will source a lot of our stuff from you. And it's like, okay, seems fair to me. Now, obviously, all you negotiate is like how much, what are your percentages, and what else. But it's not like some vindictive tariff out of nowhere. There's a reason. Because remember, at the end of the day, every country is its own little, own little system that needs to like sustain itself and stay alive.
Yeah.
And obviously you compromise a little depending on who you're trading with. But at the end of the day, you're looking out for you. You're number one.
Yeah.
So they're not just going to roll over for us. Neither is Mexico. Everyone is trying to stay alive and float their country.
Yeah. In economics, right? Shout out to Dr. Deemer. That was our economist in Chestnut Hill. He said if the whole world has no tariffs, everything will be so smooth, right? Because the whole point of free trade is I have the materials to make this in abundance. It's cheaper to make it here. If it's cheaper to make it here, I can sell it for you cheaper to buy it here. In exchange, since you do this other product I need for cheaper, right? You make it there, and then I can buy it for cheaper over here. So that's when you start to see all these arrows from each company back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? Like when it comes to like, let's say you make like wine, right? Who the fuck wants American wine? Nobody, right? You would go to France, you would go to Mexico, you would go to England, because especially with their vineyards up there, very nice. But you would go to those places to get the wine. And then in exchange, what does America make a lot of? I don't fucking know. So, I got you.
You're gonna Google our main exports?
Yeah, because I know somebody told me like our biggest main export is entertainment.
Well, that's one of them, but steel, I think, is definitely on our list because that's one thing we've always kind of fought over. American
yeah. Okay, so our top exports are crude petroleum, refined petroleum, petroleum gas turbines, cars. That is true. We do export a large number of cars.
That's interesting.
Pharmaceuticals, plastics, soybean, corn is definitely one of the biggest ones because we send that to Mexico a lot, right? Precious metals, cotton. We all know it's cotton. Y'all motherfuckers. Cereal grains and dairy products. That's basically what we normally do. So we clearly do that. And because it's our top exports by value, right? It's clearly cheaper for us to get it and ship it to you. So that means your citizens are flourishing because they can buy things for cheaper because we're selling it for cheaper. Same way our citizens are flourishing because you're selling things for cheaper and we can buy cheaper. Now with the tariff war, what you're doing is you're making things expensive for both people. And I hate the fact that he's like, we get so many jobs. We could get so many jobs. We already are in a job surplus, right? It's not, we don't need new jobs. We need people filling those jobs. That's what it, I don't care how big your company is. If it got 500 open positions and you're only hiring for 200 of them, why the fuck are you going to then make your next project more jobs? You know, like, does that make sense? That don't make sense. You know, and so stop using the job talking point, right? Reaganomics was already the biggest failure, I think, in almost American history, right? That whole trickle down effect. We found out that's not true. It's already been tested. So what are you doing? And then here's where it affects me, Jared. Student loans.
Right? Yep.
Because of Trump and his efforts, income-driven student loan repayments are basically on pause now too. Right? Now, mind you, this is how it affects me. I pay my student loans. So before y'all start to get a little crazy, I pay my shit. But I'm also a public service worker, basically. So the deal was, when I take out the loans and when I graduated, the deal was, if you work for a certain nonprofit and things like that, and you keep your payments up for 10 years, and we'll make them affordable for you because you could do that, we will forgive your loans after 10 years because you're doing a public service. Now, because of Trump, I can't even change my one. They put the loans in forbearance. So you can't do auto pay. You can't do none of that. And the loans that are supposed to, chart up to your forgiveness aren't being counted. You have to wait till you hit that 10-year mark to then go, hey, can I get back some of the months that you gave me? Can I get that back? You have to do that. Right? 2, he's thinking about doing he's thinking about getting away from it all entirely. He's thinking about, let's just have them pay the amount it needs to pay it off in another 10 years. Because I owe more now than I did 6 years ago, even though I've been paying it consistently.
Because of interest rates.
Because of interest, right? So, and because I paid a minimum, because that's what is necessary for the income-driven plan, is the minimum. So now it's like, okay, you're screwing me over. And then now they're like, we're trying to get rid of the Department of Education and give the states back the power of the education. The states already have the power. The federal government basically makes sure that your schools have the standard amount of money to house special needs children, to house at least good building structures, everything like that. The whole point is, and on top of that, to go to college, right? That's what they, you're not going to have a politician that doesn't have a college degree. They don't allow that. Coincidentally, these are the same politicians that say don't go to college. I wonder why. But next thing you know, all these red states. Oh yeah, give it back to the states. Yeah. Jared, I want you to do me a favor. Okay, I want you to look up the poorest performing states by education right now.
Worst educated states. Least educated states, 2025. We got West Virginia.
Yep. Red.
Louisiana.
Red.
Arkansas.
Red.
Oklahoma.
Red.
Nevada.
Red.
Kentucky.
Red.
Alabama.
Red.
Texas.
Red.
Indiana. Tennessee. Red. Idaho. Arizona. Alaska. South Carolina. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. Oh, I'm kind of reading it wrong. Am I reading it wrong? No. Damn. God damn. Yo, some of these are bad. Where's Alabama? Hold on. Alabama's always really shitty. 8th? Yeah, good lord. It's pretty bad for Alabama. Team and rank. But yeah, mostly red states generally are the worst educated states. They're also usually the worst funded states. So if you decide I'm going to remove the Department of Education and leave it to the states, the poorest states are going to have an even worse level of education.
Exactly.
And they are going to drown. They are poor states. They don't have the money. That's why they need the federal government. That's why they need the Department of Education. So you gutting that screws those states even more than they already are.
Exactly. So now you get
It's
it.
stupid.
So, but you see what I'm saying, though, right?
Mm.
The people who lead the worst educated states are the same ones that are saying, please cut the funding. They don't know that they are being subsidized by the blue states. You know what I'm saying? Like at what point? And again, I don't think it's the politicians' fault. I don't think it's their fault because they're just doing what they're doing is just repeating what social media is basically yelling and social media of their constituents, right? Because let's be real, you need to be educated in order to be in Congress. So let's just get it out the way. They're not uneducated. But J.D. Vance, same J.D. Vance who's the vice president, called Trump Hitler years ago. The same Trump, same type of politics and everything, same guy. Now he's been paid off and told to be vice president. Now Trump is the best thing to ever happen to America. How he go from Hitler to the best thing that happened in America? It's the same person. He didn't change. You know what I'm saying? He didn't change. You know what I'm saying? This is how I think the world works. And I'm going to say it because these motherfuckers is afraid to say it. We know why Trump got elected again. We know why. America is Trump. The general America is Trump. Not Massachusetts, not Florida, not California. I'm not talking about those states entirely, right? Because those are populated states. I'm talking about middle America. Middle America and Southern America, southern part, like that little J shape, basically. Right? Tennessee, Alabama, you know those states, right? Confederacy. Those states wanted Trump because end of the day, Trump's ideals resonate with them. Why does it resonate with them, Jared? Because they racist.
They racist as shit. Yeah.
They sexist as shit. Right? And it's again, this is not. I'm not saying Republicans. See, this is why I'm saying. This is why I say it's not a political thing. It's not a party thing. You went for Trump because Trump is or was the American dream. At the same time, he is the stereotypical Yankee. Right? He doesn't give a shit. He's not that really, in my opinion, he's not that educated. Right? He went to college. He's not that educated though. Right? That's why he failed so many businesses. Right? He appeases those who support a lot of violent tendencies when it comes to like the Nazis and Confederacies. He never calls them out. Right? It's always like a beat around the bush answer. Same thing like all his cabinet picks did. Right? I think somebody even said like, if it's lawful to do you think the president forgiving everybody from January 6th, do you think that sweeping forgiveness was the right call? The obvious answer is no. Now you could have did this. No, I don't think it was the right call. I think he should have did this. That's all you had to do. But because you're so scared of him, you went, I'll see, I'm not in a position to explain that and this. And like, nigga, you about to be the fucking FBI director. The fuck you talking about? Fucking Cash, what was it? Cash Patel?
Cash Patel, yeah.
Cash Patel, bitch ass motherfucker. But it's like, everybody's scared to speak out. And then even worse, you have this, I'll be real with you, you have this well-trained, and by well-trained, I'm talking about dog of the White House, what's her name?
Press secretary?
White press secretary, right?
Mm.
She got schooled several times on policies, effects, everything like that. And when you call her out on it, she says it's disrespectful. What? You had a guy, a guy from the Associated Press literally say, I've paid tariffs.
Mm.
This is what happens. She goes, well, it's kind of disrespectful to test my knowledge on tariffs, and it's kind of disrespectful to the United States president, because you're not the president, I'm not the president, but this president. You know what I'm saying? Like, shut up. Like, we know you're not educated. We know you're a mouthpiece of them, right? So don't try to defend it when you can't even defend it. You right? Look at your paper. Repeat what's on the paper. You do not do a good job at answering questions. You just don't. You know, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm not attacking her personally, even though she got a 70-year-old husband, basically, and she's like 27. But by the way, how do you even what the hell? Like, you cannot tell me that's love. But it's like the common pattern with MAGA is that nobody is willing to research shit. You just looked up the age, didn't you?
She's 27. She
looked
terrible.
It's
the hatred. Hatred makes you age terribly.
It's like, but at what point do you just criticize things? Like, again, I'm a Democrat. I will call out Democrats who do dumb shit all the time.
Schumer, we don't like you no more.
You know,
right. That bitch ass motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? How you hype up your Democratic Party? I'll never vote for this, and then you vote for it.
Yeah, don't vote his ass in no more. He done. It showed his true color.
What we need to do, we did it with presidency. We need to do it with Senates and the House of Representatives. 2 terms and you're out. If you want to be an advisor, go ahead. But we need 2 terms and you're out. There's no reason anybody above the age of 65 is in government right now. There's none. Because when you think about it, right, the 65 plus year olds, right, they don't know how to work a phone that well. They don't know none of the technology that's going on. They don't know what's happening socially, right? Because you're not in that demographic anymore. You know what I'm saying? My grandson didn't know shit about what's happening in middle school, high school, college, etc., up until the old age demographic. He could tell you how it feels like to be an old person now, but he can't tell you anything about, what's happening in college. Shit, it's because of his not knowing what's happening in college. That's why I have so much debt, because he didn't know that my debt was accumulating every year with interest. Right? God rest his soul. But when he died, he thought I paid off everything already. He didn't know I owed close to 100,000. You know what I'm saying? And when I told him that, he also didn't know how the wages work today, because in his mind, wages were triple, quadruple what it was when he retired in 06. But I was honestly getting paid as much as he was when he retired. My beginning salary was his end salary. He viewed his end salary as no money, but because my beginning salary was 25 cents more, he didn't fully grasp that, oh shit, he's not really earning that much yet. You know what I mean? So it's like, at what point? Oh, judges too. There should not be no fucking lifetime fucking appointment. Go your ass home, bro. Go your ass. I don't care who you are, bro. You could even be Thurgood Marshall. God rest his soul, one of the best judges of all time. Go home. You 95, bro. Judge Judy been old for 50 years, bro. And she's still judging people. What are we talking about, man?
Like, maybe give judges like 6 years, maybe, especially Supreme Court, something like that, or like would we make that a little bit longer? Because
I think 10 years for
10 years, a 10-year, and then that would make sense. Every 10 years, you change out the Supreme Court. Everybody goes.
Years. Yeah, I think okay. At most, let's go at most 3 presidencies. That's what I think. If you're appointed at the Supreme Court, you serve 3 presidents,
and you're out.
And then you're out. If you decide to go to the district courts or local courts,
that's fine.
That's fine. But those higher up ones, no. You get 3 presidents. Then it's time for a new one. Because one thing you want to prevent, right, is you don't want like, okay, let's do it 2 presidents. And it's like, you did well here, you didn't do well here, right? So the third person starts to bring in somebody that reminded him of this one. You don't want that. You want transparency, discrepancy, and also variety. So if you go 3 presidents later, that's 12 years automatically, right? And because you have the 12 years, now that 4th president isn't going to have much to go off of that first president. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to add variety there. Same with the second one. Now, if somebody ran twice, that's it doesn't matter. That's still another term, right? Even though it's 2 different people, that's still a presidency. So you could say 3 terms they could serve for 4 years. And this will make things easier, in my opinion, Jared. Because we have the president election every 4 years, right? But then we have the Senate every 2 years, and then we have the House it's weird, right? And then you don't get anything for the judge one, right?
Right.
So why not put every single thing on the same exact time? It's basically a whole regiment change. Every single congressman right now, you're getting voted. Every single one, right? I don't care if we have to focus on this conversation, this debate, this, that, and the third. I don't care. If I'm supposed to be educated, I can watch all of them on different channels. We got future shit now, so I can press rewind and shit, watch the shit on YouTube. I don't care, right? If we put everybody to vote on the same day, right? I think there's less complications. And do it on a Saturday. Fuck you doing the things on Tuesday for? Or ain't nobody going out on Tuesday, right? But ain't nobody going out on Tuesday, right? Think about it, right? This was T's first time voting. Why did she vote? Because I had to bring her. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? She has work. She has kids. What is she gonna go out of her mind to go vote for shit that ain't gonna change anyway? Right? So I have to make the conscious mindset, hey, damn, okay, we'll go vote after work. Damn, we gotta avoid traffic. Let's try this. Oh, damn, but then what if we tired? Okay, let's try it. Get rid of all that. Saturday. And don't tell me they can't do it because they already did it before when it came to like announcing the president, basically. It used to be on March and shit. Now it's January. It used to be March because it took a long time before, the mail-in votes came in and shit like that. But now we got technology. So put everybody on the same day. If you have a Senate, House of Representatives, Senator, Governor, Mayor, House of School Council, Student Council, Parent Council, Lakers and 5. But but like that's what I'm saying. Like just make it easier for the average citizen. You know why they don't want to make it easier for the average citizen? Because they know a certain like archetypes and certain demographics work later and then work earlier. Like they know the prime spot to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? The only time you have an excuse for that shit is if you're 65 and retired. You have the whole day ahead of you. You probably drive or take an Uber. You don't even take Ubers, but you could take the bus. You know what I mean? Actually, now that's why I like Boston. Most of the voting is close. like real close to wherever you live.
Hmm.
So for me, there's a senior home or not senior home, but senior community center about a 10-minute walk from my house. So they chose that as a voting thing rather than me going to a school that's a mile away.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's shit like that that makes people think it matters. You know, but I digress, man. This is crazy.
And because we're talking about judges, bro, why is Trump bitching about judges ruling? That's the whole point of a judge. If you make a law, if you make an executive order, if you do anything that affects the entire country, it needs to be constitutional and legal. That's the point of a judge.
Yeah.
And if you don't like the ruling, you can appeal it and you go to the highest court, which would be the Supreme Court. But no, this man's saying judges can't do that. Bro, yes, they can. That's the whole point of them.
But you see, my point though is that they know judges can do it. Elon Musk knows judges can do it, but Elon Musk will then spread misinformation and say no, the judges can't, or the judges are corrupt, right? So now these people, mind you, he doesn't hide the names and shit, right? He doesn't hide shit when it comes to the opposition. So these judges have their names out there. And being told you're corrupt, you're a fraud, you're fake, blah blah blah, because they didn't let Trump do unlawful shit. And this is why I hate when influence they don't really measure influence, because that's the same thing with the January 6th thing is, oh, Trump didn't actually incite the riot because he didn't say go riot, blah blah blah. But it's like, at what point do we as a collective acknowledge influence is also power of decision? So if Elon Musk is saying a judge is a fraud, even though all evidence points not to, do you think that the people who are influenced by him will then, let me fact check this? No, they're going to then retweet, repost, mail the judge, death threats, all that shit, because we're not doing anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and mind you, they only do that for certain people. You know what I'm saying? Like Kai Cenat, right? Kai Cenat, shout out to Kai. He was arrested because he held an event to give away PS5s. Remember that?
That's down in New York, right? Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
Now, mind you, he didn't know how many people was going to be there. He's famous. He has influence. So the fact that he influenced those people to be there, he then got arrested. So at what point do we go, these guys are doing a Kai Cenat then? You know what I'm saying? Like we still have an era of common sense. I think what's being overwritten from that common sense is loyalty, regardless of situation. So you will have people that will cut off their own foot, complain about them cutting off their own foot. And then when I say, why did you cut off your own foot? They will say, because I didn't like you looking at my foot. So mind you, even though you cut off your own foot, you decided to cut off your own foot, everything like that, you still made it about me. And not something that I was doing, but something you didn't like me doing that didn't acknowledge you anyway. Oh man, but I can go on for years when it comes to this MAGA shit. We are only
3 months.
3 months. We are only 3 months or 4 years in. I can't wait for this motherfucker to be impeached, bro. Like, I want to see an impeachment in my lifetime. I want to
like an actual impeachment.
Not no wasn't it Monica Lewinsky shit with Bill Clinton, because Bill Clinton was one of the, if anything, Bill Clinton was low key the best president to ever bless us in this economy, right? I'm saying economy, right? Obama was the best one to ever be a black man during, and then Biden was the best one to actually recover in such a short amount of time, right? I just think that at some point, enough should be enough. Even though, again, all of this we're talking about here, he was elected actually unofficially 2 months ago. He was elected during MLK Day. So I think that's the 2-month anniversary is probably like 4 days from now. So he's been in office 1 3/4 of a month. And he's done changed the world for the worse. That's what we call influence, people. Now people, but you made Tesla, you advertised Tesla in front of the fucking White House because your financial backer was losing money. So now everybody's like, oh yeah, let me buy Tesla, let me do that. Man had the notes right there. Oh, this one, they want good. They want 35,000. I like that one.
And you listen to him read it. He didn't know shit about Teslas. He doesn't care about Teslas.
No.
Because this one, yeah, it's got a metal body. It's really good, really sturdy. It's like, the fuck? Like you didn't even have to rehearse the cipher truck. Like, come on, bro.
That shit looked like a GameCube, bro. Like,
and people are like, well, other presidents have done it too. I'm like, yeah, but they when they're doing it, that's not their largest financial backer. That's right there.
Yeah, no.
Like Biden, what was it? A couple years ago, he did Jeep, right?
Yeah,
it's just Jeep. What the fuck about Jeep?
About no Jeep.
But Elon, the guy who's currently running dog, even though Elon's not running dog. And then
they fucked up. They fucked up during that Congress thing.
Trump said it. The head of dog, Elon Musk. Like, did you just lie under oath, bro? Is that what just happened?
Yeah. You see, and that's what I'm saying though. Clearly, he lies a lot, but we're not going to call him out on it because 98% of what he's talking about is Joe Biden. I think he mentioned, like in the last speech, that little hour, 30-minute speech he had, I think he mentioned Joe Biden like 35 times or some shit like that. It's bad. Like, it's anytime look, I think one reporter even said, like, you said that the economy would go up when you got elected, right? And with the tariffs and everything, things is actually starting to go down. Are you concerned about the economy? This motherfucker said, no, no, because we inherited a bad economy from Biden, right? Even though things were going up with Biden, things were going up. So, like what? And then now, yo, this is why I hate too. Now you have people saying the economy was bloated anyway. The economy, the same one, the Dow, the NASDAQ, the same ones that go up in 10% every year on average, right? They go up 10% every year. For some reason, with Biden, it somehow became too heavy or something, too fat. What are we talking about? But again, you see, because they know the whole reason, again, the people are pointing it out a lot. Y'all called Trump's last presidency good because we were flourishing, forgetting that it was still Obama's policies we were under Trump, right? Trump's policies didn't take effect until after the initial COVID, right? So after 2019, right? Well, 2018-ish, right? Let's go down. So you had that. Then Biden comes in, and the market's going down. Market's going down with Trump. Biden comes in, and y'all are suffering. But y'all forget that Trump's stuff made the economy go down anyway. So then, when Biden starts to increase the shit, it takes time to feel that effect. Now, if you were in the stock market, you would have felt the effect. But outside of that, you didn't feel the effect yet. Now that we had interest rates back at a comfortable piece, right? Because remember, if you were buying a house, interest rates reached like 9% at one point. Now, and with Biden, the lowest they got to was, I think, 4.5. Now that you finally start to feel a little bit better with Biden, and Trump came in, and now that trend that Biden had is now going down because of Trump stuff. You're blaming Biden again. Right? So no matter what Trump does, they're always going to find somebody to blame. And again, that's another way fucking Trump has impacted my ass, because when I first got my quote for my damn house, I had a 5% interest rate. 5, chat. 5. Now that we're closing the deal, my shit went up to 6.6. Fucking hate this orange head. Like, yo, y'all don't understand, bro. Like, this is a personal level now. Like, at first, I didn't really care about presidencies and shit like that. As long as it don't affect me, my wallet, or my peoples like that. Right? To the point where I can't look at my wallet and go, yeah, this kind of hurting. Or this kind of helping. Until this motherfucker. It took him 2 months to fuck over most of the shit that I had going on. So when I say to all these MAGA people, or why you hate Trump, you know why. And it's on site with you too. It's on site. I dare you to wear a hat. I'm tripping. It's kind of weird too, also. Like anybody, y'all didn't notice that? Like it's kind of weird to kind of purchase the merchandise of your party and then kind of wear it free. Ain't that some Nazi shit? Anyway,
it's weird because it's like out of all these years, I'm gonna lie, bro. I've never, no matter who was running, I've never worn a pin. I've never bought a shirt. I never wore a hat. I'm just like, yeah, I support that person, and I vote for you, and that's really it. I'm not wearing a hat. I'm not getting my car painted and shit like some of the stuff I've seen. Like, you out of your mind if you think I'm gonna do that to my vehicles and drive that shit around. That's the dumbest investment of money ever. Because in 48 years, they're gonna be gone anyway.
Yeah, that shit's bad, bro.
So then what?
Now you know they kept the MAGA hats until there was something. By the way, Trump, mind you, before we end this podcast, I just want to say Trump's only opponents were women, and you know damn well America didn't want to hire women because America's also sexist. So with that being said, no, literally, like it's crazy. Like we had 2 chances to have the first woman president, and they both lost to one guy. They both lost to Trump. They was like, okay, we have a white woman now, lost to Trump. Okay, we have a black woman now, lost to Trump. If we bust out an Asian or Hispanic woman and Trump suddenly starts running third and then somehow y'all let it happen, I'm sorry. You guys need to go kick rocks. Anyway, with that being said, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, bro. I'm sorry, like
if you had a 401k, I know you're swinging. I know you're punching the air right now.
Oh yeah.
Because 401ks got tanked bad.
Man, my fucking retirement went down 2K, bro. Like I'm tired of these niggas, bro. I'm tired of Trump, bro. I'm sorry. Oh man, but we appreciate y'all for tuning in, bro. I'm sorry if you are a Trump supporter. You are the issue with this country. Hey, if you're a Republican who just wants to side with your party, I have no quarrels with you. I think you're probably scared to call out your constituents. Because like I said, I have no problems with Republicans, man. I honestly think we need like 50-50 everything, right? I think half should be Republican, half should be Democrat if we're going to keep the party system. So that way there actually is checks and balances. That way when things actually get done, you know it's because of good intentions rather than my political party. That's all I'm saying. With that being said, y'all, we wish y'all nothing but the best, and we hope y'all have a great night. Peace.